On April 6, 1984, the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, who had come to power less than 2 years earlier, faced an attempted coup orchestrated by officers of the Republican Guard from the north of the country.
Camerounaises, Camerounais, l'armée nationale vient de libérer le peuple.
The Cameroonian army has just liberated Cameroonian citizens from Biya's gang, from their tyranny, their unspeakable blunder. Yes, the Cameroonian army has decided to put an end to this individual's criminal policy against the national unity of our beloved country.
La Constitution.
In Yaoundé, the coup leaders seized control of key locations and carried out numerous arrests. The Director of National Security, Martin Bargagele, was among those arrested and imprisoned. General Pierre Semenge's house was attacked, but the Army Chief of Staff, though wounded, narrowly escaped. The head of state, Paul Biya, meanwhile, took refuge in the bunker of the presidential palace. For some, the situation seemed hopeless. However, the coup leaders did not have complete control of the communication channels. Cameroon has just experienced over the last 20 months the darkest hours of its history under the Biya regime.
En péril, la paix interne troublée, sa prospérité économique compromise, la réputation nationale ternie. Chers compatriotes,
its unity is jeopardized, internal peace is disrupted, its economic prosperity is compromised, and its national reputation is tarnished. You have all been witnesses to the horrible game played out by the regime, which dares to speak of liberalism, democracy, and national integration, while every day its actions scandalously trample on these high values.
Supérieur est amené à prendre un certain nombre de décisions au regard de la sécurité nationale. Et le Conseil militaire supérieur demande au peuple camerounais de le comprendre.
For a few hours, Yaoundé was paralyzed. Then, the situation shifted in favor of Paul Biya's supporters. They finally loosened the coup's grip and even managed to retake access to the presidential palace, where President Paul Biya emerged from his bunker. The day after, he made a public announcement.
Des unités régulières de notre armée nationale.
Cameroon has gone through a delicate period in its history. Yesterday, April 6, 1984, around 3 am, elements of the Republican Guard attempted a coup d'etat with the aim of seizing political power by force. Thanks to the intervention of the armed forces, the threat was neutralized.
Une victoire complète. Le calme règne sur toute l'étendue du territoire national.
From April 27 to the 30th of April, a military tribunal sentenced 35 defendants to death, and the executions took place a few days later in Balmayo. Amadou Aijo, on his part, on exile abroad, was accused of masterminding the operation and was also sentenced to death in absentia. Paul Biya then decided to reform his army and distance himself from the French ally deemed complice in order to forge closer ties with Israel.